This is why business owners struggle to learn Spanish. Avoid this mistake. Now, if you're watching this and you are a business owner, then of course this video is just for you. And again, if you're struggling to learn Spanish, it has nothing to do with you. It's not your fault. It's just that it has been shown and presented to you in the incorrect way. And you have not been made aware of some of the places and the areas that you're going wrong. So how did you get so successful in your business? How did you start and create a successful, highly profitable business? With systems. Okay, business is a bunch of systems. All right, you can't be successful and scale a business without systems. So if you have systems in place and your business is successful because of it, then why are you not applying those same skills, because they are skills, those same skills, the same tools and methods that you use for your business, why are you not applying that to learning Spanish? Because again, most people learning Spanish don't really have a clear structured game plan. It's just kind of throwing darts at the wall with a blindfold on. It's not specific, okay? What we do is we shorten the distance between you and the dartboard, and we give you more stability and more power over what you're doing, more accuracy, so that you can literally pinpoint where you want to put the dart, okay? Rather than just blindly hitting a piñata with a baseball bat. That's not what you want to be doing. So again, systems, all right? You want to be having systems in place. And that's exactly what the flowchart method is. We have a game plan. It's an easy, 3-step, easy to follow system that takes you from anywhere or zero. You can be a complete newbie to conversational within 90 days or less, okay? And that's exactly what we do using systems, using structures. We take only the relevant topics and we give them to you. We discard all of the irrelevant topics that you've been learning and wading through and wasting your time. We discard those and we take only the relevant topics. And then we arrange the relevant topics in order of easy to hard. But then not just easy to hard, but also the most relevant ones at the beginning that get you the most results. There are some topics that do get you results, but they don't get you as many results as something else gets you. And that something else is actually easier for you to consume. So why not put the easiest topic at the beginning that gives you the most noticeable improvement in your Spanish, to build your motivation, to get you results fast, to make you think that you can actually do this because you can, and to keep coming back, and just to keep your spirits high and actually moving the needle across the board, all right? So again, systems. You need to have a game plan. Just like when you go to drive, and you go to, do your driving test, you can't just, I'm just gonna wing it and see how I get on. No, you go to somebody who has a system, and they take you from the first day, they will show you how the car engine starts. On the 10th session, they might take you and show you how to do parallel parking. And on the 20th session, they might take you on the freeway, the highway, motorway, the fast road. Okay, everything is progressing at a steady pace, and it's all relevant. Okay, so that's why that's the number one reason probably why you're going wrong, is because you're just not making any sense of the Spanish. Okay, here you are with the business, here you are with Spanish. All right, and again, the same things that got you successful in Spanish in your business is what can get you successful in Spanish. You need to approach it in the same way. All right, and unfortunately, a lot of language schools, apps, courses, programs, tutors don't give you this level of detail for you to excel and for you to make sense of what it is that you're actually doing, okay? Because it's not the case of, oh, I'm not intelligent enough. Of course you are, otherwise you wouldn't have a highly successful business. So this has nothing to do with intelligence or IQ. It just comes down to how it's being presented to you and how you're making sense of it. That is very important. And again, it's all about systems. It's all about how you're learning, not what you're learning. You're learning Spanish, but is it relevant? Okay, is it specific to what you really need to do to excel with your Spanish? Okay, and again, you are an intelligent person, so you can learn Spanish. You can become conversational Spanish for sure, and you should be able to do it on average faster than the average person on average, because it's a lot harder to build a successful business with multiple employees in multiple countries or whatever you may do than it is to become conversational in Spanish. However, why is it that a lot of business owners struggle with Spanish but they don't struggle with the business? It's because they're doing two things in two different ways rather than doing two things in the same way. So again, number one reason why is get the systems in place. And this is what we offer you here at the Flowchat Method. We give you easy to follow systems. So even after the first hour, you've learned more Spanish than you would have learned in the last couple of months, just within the first hour. Okay, and we steadily progress us on to the point where you're making sentences very, very early on in your Flowchat Method 90-day experience. Okay, we make sure that you get the tools that you need to be able to start creating your own sentences as early as possible. Okay, we start you off with the most common phrases that you will need for your life, so we tailor it to you, and then we take you on to 14 words that you can use to create any sentence in 3 different tenses in the future, present, and in the past. Not the only ways to speak in those 3 different time frames, but it gives you that basic platform and that foundation to be comfortable enough to create your own sentences talking about yourself, him, her, she, we, they, us, whatever, and speaking in 3 different time frames, in the future, in the present, and in the past. And that's all within the first few sessions or the first few hours of consuming the Flowchat Method. Okay, and then we start showing you sentence structure, different components of all of the words that are in the sentences, different types of words, different types of actions, how you can make sense of each different component. And then once you make sense of those, you can put them together and start creating your own sentences. It's very, very simple. And this is what I came up with when I was learning Spanish myself, when I figured everything out. The 18 months it took me to get fluent before we started Yo Spanish, I figured it all out on my own. And I realized, why is it overcomplicated? Why is it so specific with all this vocabulary and grammar? And it's just excessive, unnecessary stuff that doesn't help. Okay, so again, I took my experience of learning Spanish and I put it into what we call now the Flowchat Method. It's a social Spanish way of learning social Spanish. And the vehicle that we use is the Flowchat Method. And it's the system that you're going to need to take your Spanish to the same level as your business so that you can start closing deals in Spanish, so that you can start communicating better with your employees in Spanish. And this is exactly what you're going to be needing. So if this sounds like something that you want to do and you want to get started, make sure you head over to yospanish.com, get access to all of our coaching there, one-to-one coaches we have here available at Yo Spanish. You can get one-to-one sessions with them, or you can have one-to-one sessions with myself. And I'll see you on the next video. yospanish.com. My name is Jordan Darko. Vamos pues.